Don't win my love. That heart
Hunting
is
women,
so
not deer.
cold. All on my own. I don't want to know that, babe.
Welcome back to the Stockwell Roche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
And I'm Robin Hartl with Remax Results.
We have Ben Nelson, Farmers Insurance, Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo, and we're going to talk about things that can save you tons of money, tons of pain, tons of time, energy, and make your life better, hopefully. So we'll start with one that I think is probably a big one. If you have sold a home, have been on the side of selling, or seen someone sell a home, or know someone right now who's selling a home, or let's say your home is on the market right now, and for some reason, despite all the statistics, the positive data, houses are flying off the shelves and inventory's low and interest rates are low, yours isn't selling. Here you go. It could be one of these things, and we'll go through these and talk about these in depth. Biggest home seller mistakes when selling. Number one, biggest mistake by far is an overpriced home.
I knew that one before I even looked at
I think everybody did on that one. Coming in, behind that's by far overwhelming. Number one. Behind that is showing availability, making it accessible. Yeah. Behind that is cluttered space, and then unwillingness to negotiate, unpleasant odors, and not being willing to make repairs. Those are the top ones. So starting off with overpriced home, we could spend 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks talking about pricing of a home and the constant give and take and battle and emotional involvement of just pricing a home is so critical, and it's such an emotional deal, and also one of the most critical pieces. So it says, nothing shocking here. This was far and away the most common mistake sellers make that prevent them from selling their home. If you overprice your home, there's a pretty good chance no one is going to want to buy it. Real estate agents do not set the real estate market. The buyers do. A great real estate agent will suggest a price, which is to list your home based on the comparable homes and have already sold in your area. Overpricing a home just to test or see if you can get someone to bite is not a strategy employed by someone really serious about selling. Overpricing a home will lead to missed opportunities with buyers that are serious about buying in the range at which your home should be listed. The first week to 3 weeks during the home is listed, it generally generates the most activity on your home. So, anything to elaborate to that, Robin? Do you concur?
I absolutely concur. I definitely concur. I've actually had 3 transactions probably in the last month and a half that can point to overpricing for sure. And know that when you list your home, not only is your listing agent that's helping you doing the CMA, doing the competitive market analysis to figure out what's the right price for your home, but I, as even a buyer's agent, before I even take my clients out to the house, I've done CMAs to say, are they asking too much for that house? And especially before we make an offer. Before we make an offer in any home, I do a detailed market analysis in that area and with the homes that are comparable to that home, and know that they're not going to make an offer for more than what they should be paying for that house.
That is a brilliant point, folks. So the buyers are not coming in without any information.
Right.
If they have a great agent like Robin, she's preparing exactly what you've seen when you went to list your home or something similar for the buyer. So they say, hey, look, here's all the data, that shows what's going on with this home. And statistics all point over and over again that if your home is for sale in the first month, essentially 3 weeks or 28 days to 3 weeks to a month, you will receive a closer offer to your price than if your home is on the market longer than that. Now, there are a few exceptions for very unique properties, very high-priced luxury properties, but if you're in the main zone or in the zone of normal market, even that could mean for your area.
Right.
So if you're in a Edina market where homes are selling for $600, then that should still apply to you. But if you're in on Lake Minnetonka and you happen to have an island and it's worth $5 million, it might take a little longer. So that's a big thing. And I know it's such a tricky, touchy subject for sellers to talk about. And it's the sellers always, as a seller, you love your home and you want what's best for your home. But you have to listen to, or you should be listening to the real estate.
Well, it seems like sometimes the sweat equity comes into it. I mean, they put all of their heart and soul and all their hard work into it, and doesn't that account for something, or their labor and all that? Doesn't that count for something?
Not just that, but I ran into a seller at one point where they just don't understand what adds value to the home, what is going to increase the price and what doesn't increase the price. So they say, oh well, I did the roof. The roof is new, 5 years ago. It's a pretty good roof. The furnace, we redid the furnace a couple of years ago. Yes, but those are things that are just general maintenance to your home that people expect to buy a house that the roof is good. Right. People expect to buy a house that the furnace is working, the air conditioning is working.
They don't care if you use Ralph Lauren paint.
Exactly. So if you're just doing things that are just making the house be maintained and working order, those aren't things that add value like a new kitchen or a bathroom and things like that.
So how about we debunk this one? Robin, I want to price my house $30,000 higher than you say because I know the buyers are going to want to negotiate and they're going to lowball offer me.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Like I said, I've had this happen 3 times in the last month and a half where they've overpriced the house coming into the market, thinking, okay, well, they're going to negotiate anyway, so I'm going to start high and then we'll negotiate to a better price. If people, they're like myself, and a buyer's agent looks at that house and says it's way overpriced, they may just tell their clients, don't even bother.
Or the clients might not say, hey, that's out of our zone. We're not even going to consider. So the real deal, folks, is that if you actually do price it where it needs to be without putting that fluff on top for negotiation, you'll be surprised in a good, healthy market the way it is right now.
Sure.
That is the number you should strive to get, somewhere within 97% of that number. So that's not bad. So if you're serious about it, especially now, I think as we're in November and you have the selling months of November, December, if you're on now, you don't necessarily want to be testing the market now, and really any time, but now especially because if you test it now, you'll probably still be talking to your agent in April.
Oh, absolutely.
Or March or April, and then you'll have to be adjusting and doing all these things.
Well, and it never makes sense. I watch these real estate shows too as well on TV, and everybody knows a realtor does not get paid until the home is sold.
Right.
So it's in your best interest. I mean, and you get paid on the purchase price. So
yes.
If it was going to sell for that higher price, why wouldn't you, right? Because that's, if you're really truly thinking about yourself, then, that's more commission for me. But you're not. Your goal is to sell the house at a competitive price. Mm-hmm. So
and get the highest price for the seller. And a lot of times, agents sometimes are scared to actually have that hard, heart-to-heart, detailed conversation about pricing because they're afraid that they won't get the sale they'll be able to sell the home for them. I cannot tell you the number of times that as the second person coming in, when someone did that before, so let's say they had it listed with XYZ Realty, overpriced, was 90 days or 100 days or however long it was, failed to sell through all that time, and then someone comes in and they call me and say, okay, we want to sell. And we come in and we tell them to do things, the seller actually listens. The seller actually says, oh, this is the price you want to be? Great, let's go there. And guess what? Your success rate is astronomically higher. You almost have 100% success rate with that because they've tried that way. So listen to experts, the agents, when you're listing the price of your home, or at least get in the range. We give a range. I give a range depending upon the value of the home, how big that range is, but a range, and you should be in that range to make sure. And then also factor in your motivation. Is it something if you wouldn't mind selling next spring, but you're going to try it now? If you do, or hey, we got to we want to move by January, then you got to be more aggressive. You might want to be 3 to 5% under the market value to encourage those buyers to go after a bargain. So enough on pricing, but we battle. This is a constant battle. Yeah. It'll never end. It's always been that way. It's just the way it is, and it's just how. But the advice there is listen. And if your home is on the market now and it's been on a long time and it hasn't sold, that's probably one of the biggest factors. Selling availability, making it difficult to show, that just comes down to motivation too, right?
Yeah.
If you're not letting people through and look at the house, then what do you expect? Right?
Not available Saturdays and Sundays, not available. And I've seen that so many times, and I'm thinking they obviously don't want to sell their home.
Well, there's some circumstances, yes. I mean, again, all these are generalizations, but there's certain circumstances where, yes, there may be a very valid reason, and yes, we can work around that. But we usually recommend to make it as accessible as possible, for the public or for the people.
Well, and you touched on the point about, trusting the experts. When you're giving advice about what to do, that, the commercial where the realtor takes all the stuff off the walls and then he puts it back up again. And, everybody has a different eye. And you guys are trained to don't take it personal. Because you like, country decor and all that kind of stuff doesn't mean that somebody else might.
Right.
So I think that's where it's, really important to, you guys are doing this day in and day out, and they're not telling you to stage your house a certain way or declutter to hurt your feelings, right? You're just, you obviously, what sells. You're in houses day in and day out. You know what people like, what sells. And so I think it is good advice.
So tips for you folks, if your home isn't selling, if you know someone, call us 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773 for a free, no-cost obligation. Or no obligation, no cost evaluation of your home and recommendation. But here are the tips. Don't overprice your home. Make your home available for showing. Declutter the spaces. Be willing to negotiate on some level. Get rid of unpleasant odors. Make any necessary repairs that you need to. And don't play tour guide during the showing for the buyer. We understand that you know the home better than anybody and you're in love with the home. But it's so uncomfortable for the buyers. Very few buyers, other than investor buyers, are comfortable in that situation. Many of them are so uncomfortable just because they want to be able to freely look at the home without feeling pressure from anybody, especially the seller. So we'll be back with more tips and what not to do, and then what to do. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Robin Hartl, RE/MAX Results.
Stay tuned.
Wish I could take back that in your